You go through all their shit, you're like, this is wrong, fix this, fix that, fix this. Now they're gonna double their business.
There's so much parallels with the highest levels of ecom. Like if you wanna build a brand, the guys that are popping the $1 million months, they're doing this stuff.
If you're gonna talk about a certain piece of value that I could go and learn in a random YouTube video by any retard, then why would I listen to you? Focus on stories that you can naturally relate back to ecom, where you teach a lesson through the story.
Storytelling is so important. It's the key to all of ecom. Everyone else just seems to be like a videographer, whereas you understand that it's so much deeper than that.
Nabil, appreciate you hopping on, man. Big player.
Appreciate you for having me.
The big player in the ecom space. What made you want to start finally taking your personal brand seriously?
I think 2026 is the year of content. I think with all AI and all this kind of stuff, fake people, fake everything, you need to be real online. And it's a good edge.
It is, and you've got so much expertise in your space, got stories for days. I mean, I think you can have a real presence in the world of ecom and just the whole online space in general. Today, we're gonna be mapping out a bit of your brand strategy, the next steps going forward on how you can start making content, and just getting a lot of clarity on what the game plan here is. So, first thing we've got the brand sheets, right, which you have filled out, and that makes my life a lot easier. So we're just gonna spend a bit of time going through this, and I want you to just kind of talk me through your ideas as you were filling this out, because look, this is your personal brand. This is gonna be how the world sees you, whether it's a new business partner or a kid in the UK who looks up to you. Like, this is who we're gonna see your content, you know? So when it comes to your dream follower, 18 to 30, making maybe 3K plus a month, nothing too crazy, and they feel like they're destined for more, right? They relate to Batman, yeah, okay?
Don't we all?
With the blacked out F8, you know? Okay, cool. Ecom is the ultimate business model.
When it comes to freedom.
And why do you believe that?
Because you can do it from anywhere in the world. Even though ecom's not purely an online business, because physical product being delivered to customers, but you can operate an e-commerce business from anywhere. And the money you can make from ecom, there's no limit. If you can make 50K a month from one store, you can make 100K a month from two stores. And you have 10 stores, you're at 500K a month. So ultimate freedom play.
100%, okay. And you've been running this since you were 16, eh?
Yeah. A decade in the game.
Decade in the game, yeah. Serious amount of time. Okay, and you told me that this was a harder one you wanted to discuss, right? What are they insecure about? Is that right?
Yeah. Because I think I almost got quite lucky when I first started out. I immediately followed the right people on YouTube. And today I see so many people following the wrong people that it's no wonder that they never get to where they want to be, because they're following something that doesn't exist. It's all fake. So
you feel like it was a little bit of luck, the fact that the first thing you found actually was the right thing?
I don't know if it was luck, because I knew, look, if I'm going to dedicate the next year to learning someone's content, I want to make sure it's the right person. So I thought, look, who wants to sell me something and who might want to sell me something? Because the guy I did follow, he was selling some kind of mastermind, but you could tell that he was in the game.
I see.
And it was really important, because now people just, they don't care if someone's running a brand, they don't care if someone's got a business, they just see what car they're driving and think, oh, I want to follow that guy because I want that car, but it just doesn't work like that.
No, of course not. Okay, what problems do they face? They don't know who to listen to. Information overload, analysis paralysis, they get business advice from influencers, not entrepreneurs.
Bar, right?
That's a clip. So you got clips in the fucking brand sheets, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the track record of these people. I mean, anyone can get a nice car and just flex a rental, right? So the vibe I'm getting right now is you really want to show that what you're doing, like, this is the real shit.
Yeah, I'm in the trenches.
Like, the fact, I remember you mentioning to me, saying to them, like, look, I've been doing for ecom for 10 years and I've never sold info.
Yeah.
Like, that's an angle, right? Because you haven't.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You haven't sold info, right? Yeah. And so many ecom guys, they sell info.
Well, I may have done a few consulting calls, but we're talking like...
you haven't got like a whole VSL
$10,000 max lifetime in sales.
Yeah.
And that's a new pair of wheels on the Rari. Like,
yeah, you know, like you haven't got like DM set on your IG, you're getting all your prospects. You haven't done info, right? You've just been doing the business model, which I think is a real big point of leverage, right? We could say listening to someone who makes money from the thing, not just teaching the thing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Coaches don't play. You know.
Exactly. I'm gonna make this red.
Super important, right?
Yeah. What type of content will make them feel understood? Someone who is willing to say there was prolonged periods of times where you feel like nothing is working. But that's what happens before you create a breakthrough. So taking comfort in the periods of like no growth. I saw a thing by Hormozy, and he was talking about different types of business models. And he was saying when it comes to ecom, it's like a staircase, right? It's like you'll grow really fast and you plateau for a long time. There'll be a restriction, maybe it's your supply or whatever it may be. And then you solve it, and then there's no constraint. It's infinite.
Well, it might not even be a staircase going up. It's mountains. You go over and you crash all the way down. I've had friends who have lost so much money because their supplier hasn't shipped out their orders, and the supplier's just done a quick pump and dump and taken all their money. So then you've got to refund every single person who's bought from you, and you've paid all the ad spend, which you're not getting a refund on. And this is the real shit that most of the course sellers aren't talking about. But you can go from 100K a day to zero in 2 days, overnight.
I also like to think that I'm living proof that you can live your dream life without selling a course as a dropshipper. I want to show very few people in my life that are making obscene amounts of money, doing incredible things, and they don't sell a course, and even better, they don't even know who the biggest course. That's like the guy you mentioned earlier.
The guy I mentioned who is probably the most successful person I've met in e-commerce. And one night we were out, I said to him, "Oh, what do you think about Iman Gadzhi out of curiosity?" And he genuinely had no idea.
Yeah, you said it here as well. Okay, cool. Change your entire belief system.
Yes.
And so just in the same way, this guy completely changed how you think. You want to have that same impact on your audience. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
It's the most important thing for sure.
Yeah. You only hear about the ones that do sell a course because why they're doing content. The guys who are making money, they don't need to do content, right? So it gives you leverage the fact that, look, you haven't got an offer. You're just here because you're just going to show how the game actually works.
And just document life.
Yeah.
Look back on it.
Exactly. All right. Okay. So now we have your ICP, and this is like contrary to what we said. If you do decide to maybe go into selling eventually, you have an idea of what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I remember we discussed, right? If you do info, it's not going to be like just the basic stuff. You want to take people who are already fairly successful in ecom, 50 to 100K a month, and they want to break past that ceiling. Is that right?
Yeah, because the way I view it is, if you make an audience, there comes a point where it's just stupid not to leverage that audience. And the thing is, I've already got the accolades to jump on YouTube. First video, people will know that I know what I'm talking about. So it has to be very careful. And if you scroll down later, it says how the long-term players, I want to take equity in the stores of the people who are watching me, not just sell them
quick cash grab.
Quick cash, yeah.
And with the equity, you help scale it further, etc. No, that all sounds good. And you're planning to do this in what, around 6 months?
I reckon so.
6 months to a year, maybe? Okay, cool. I think we'll leave this for now because we're not doing it right now. We'll focus on what's happening in the current moment. It's good that we already have that here. Okay, cool. So now when it comes to your brand foundation, this is all about you now, right? And this is like, this is getting beefy. Look at this. This is getting really beefy. If you guys read all this, bro, you get so much heat. So biggest pain was not knowing who to surround yourself with. So many frauds in the space. And if you consume their content, it drains your energy. Didn't you say though that you already found like the right kind of people at the start?
So I mean, at the start, I found the right people through watching them on YouTube. But I mean, like the people you hang around with.
Okay, in real life, yeah. Charlene and Courchevel.
Did I tell you that story?
What?
So me and the boys, we had a driver taking us to the chalet from the airport.
Okay.
And we were like, oh yeah, we've got a nice chalet this week. It costs us a lot of money. It's in one of the nicest parts of France. One of the most expensive ski resorts in the world is Courchevel. And when we're driving, the guy says, oh, by the way, do you boys know who was staying here last week? Well, no. He said, it was Bonnie Blue. We're like, holy fuck, I hope you changed the bed sheets. But genuinely, the one thing that taught me was, no matter how hard you work in life, there's always going to be a hoe that gets there first. There's always going to be a girl that literally just gets her ass out online, does way more than that.
Yeah.
She's just outprinting you. Like me and my 5 boys, we split the chalet. She got it herself. She got next level money.
I mean, you can.
But the lesson there as well is eyeballs. She did it through more eyeballs. I refuse to be lapped by OF girls and content creators and when you see like that 17-year-old kid on YouTube who made 50 million last year with his Lego. Yeah. I'm not getting lapped by that guy. I'm jumping on YouTube.
Yeah, you gotta beat them at their own game. Cool. And what this is doing, right, now that you've actually put this on paper, whenever you are stuck for ideas, this is going to be essentially like your North Star to always refer back to. Whenever something happens in your life, you just refer back to, okay, like this is what I want my brand to be. Does this match me telling my audience or not? And you now can decide, you can filter, because no one else can do that for you. That's something you have to do yourself. Mission behind your content, genuinely inspire people and think it's possible to, this seems to be a recurring thing you really like. You really want to preach it's possible to make money without selling a course.
Yeah, and that's why I want to show my friends who are also making money without selling a course. And no one knows who they are. Like they've got 20 followers on Instagram.
But they're printing.
Yeah, they're printing.
Absolutely printing.
They don't want to be known, but they don't mind being known. They just have no desire to be known.
You said no to every single podcast you've ever been asked to go on.
Yeah, and I got asked to go on a lot.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Kind of got your name, mate. I guess we're starting, but that's a good point. The more I like that. The more you talk, the more you can expose. Elaborate on that a bit more for me.
Someone asked me to go on a podcast. They get all the benefit in the world in terms of they've got me going on spitting so much value. I've got no platform, no YouTube channel. I go on the podcast. I spill all my secrets, or even if I hold back some of my secrets and I only spill 10% to make the podcast interesting, what did I gain from the podcast? I only lost. But if I had a YouTube channel,
the brand,
and there was a long-term play where, okay, if I can get to 100K, 200K, hopefully a million with you, then maybe there's plays down the line where I can start investing in businesses that come through YouTube and that kind of stuff. But without a YouTube channel, there's no reason you should go on a podcast.
Now with the personal branding though, that's where you can use what your platform is as leverage.
Yeah, exactly. But there's everything to lose without platform.
Before that, there's no point. Most successful people you meet, they ask the best and the most questions. They want to extract information from you, and you'd rather do the extracting, but you wouldn't trust most. So would you say most entrepreneurs you meet you don't trust?
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, that's a clip. Never talk about your numbers in specific. Your parents didn't raise you like that. Okay, cool. That's another clip, bro. The fact that you say that, look, like you will see in my videos that I will say I've exited a company, I've done 8 figures, whatever the hell. But you're never gonna hear specifics from me because the richest people in the world, they don't tell you your fucking balance sheet.
Yeah, and it can change so often. Like when people say, oh, I make this much a month. That's just not how business works, because last month I could be down 100K. Because I made 500K in investment. Yeah. So, okay, how much you made last month? Minus 100. Yeah. Do what you want with that information. Yeah. So, okay, am I one of the brokest people in the world because I made minus 100 last month? Or have I realized that it's not about weekly, monthly fluctuations? It's a long-term game.
Long-term game. Something you can even talk about there is like one of the factors you see in novice entrepreneurs, novice ecom guys, they're talking about monthly earnings.
Yeah. Or,
is that true? Would you say that's true?
Yeah. And so like even with the car, for example, people say, oh, I want to buy a Lamborghini. Yeah. Okay, straight away, you're saying to yourself, whether you're saying it out loud or not, but in your brain, subconsciously, okay, in the next year, I want enough money to buy a Lamborghini. If you shift your mindset to, I want to make enough money to buy a Lamborghini every single month, then all of a sudden you can get there 10 times quicker. Because then no wonder people aren't getting their dream car when the whole point is, or my whole goal in life is I want to get this car. You need to think 10 times bigger.
Having a dream car is stupid.
It is fucking stupid.
Yeah, so there you go.
Like your whole dream, your whole purpose of life.
Is to get this.
You could get your dream car for 3K a month from finance. Like, think bigger.
Okay, what are we doing for long term? Ecom, and how you can use ecom to dominate other businesses. And that will be a bit later with like more heavy value stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The long-term play.
You're not excelling in ecom because of your ads. It's because your funnel is shit. That's a good point you believe in, right?
Yeah, so everyone just says ads, but I think they're looking in the wrong place. If everyone's talking about ads, you need to take it to the next level and find what they're not talking about and focus on that.
Okay, e-commerce entrepreneurs, personally, I think it's way too low. I think 1K for an hour call is way too low for your skill set. I think that should be like at least 5.
Yeah?
At least 5 to 10. Yeah, bro, because you actually have so much fucking sauce, bro. Like,
I just see it as like I'm in the gym. I can talk to a guy for an hour on the treadmill.
Nah, you get more than the K. Because the way that I see it, right, like if you want to do info, I think you're going to get bored to death dealing with the retards who are just starting. It's just going to just drive you crazy. So your best bet is taking the guys who they're making at least like 50 to 100 profit a month. And it's worth them spending an hour with you on a call and they'll pay 5K.
Yeah.
And then you go through all their shit, you're like, this is wrong, fix this, fix that, fix this. And that's worth 5K because now they're going to double their business.
Yeah.
you know? So that's how I see it. And then when it comes to you explaining value, personally, I think an angle you can take is going the much more advanced route, because you've been in the game so long, you don't need to talk about the generic stuff. Because if you're going to talk about a certain piece of value that I could go and learn in a random YouTube video by any retard, then why would I listen to you? But if you could tell me something that I couldn't find anywhere else, immediately you filter out the beginners.
Yeah.
And secondly, the people who actually do ecom, they're like, oh shit, this guy like actually knows what he's talking about. Right?
And that's who, that businesses I want equity in at the end of the day.
Yeah, and those are the guys who are going to attract. There's less of those than beginners who are like, hey, crypto brand and dropshipping. Like we said, right? But these are the guys that actually got money.
Yeah.
Right. And they look up to you as like a genuine mentor. You know, they're probably like 2 to 4 years behind you in their journey. Maybe they've had one exit or they're looking to do their first exit. I think those kind of guys, I don't see anyone appealing to them, because a lot of the ecom guys, their course is like 5K, and they'll have Indians saving up for 20 years to buy it, right? Like that's probably not your ICP, right? Just something to think about for the future. But I know you're not saying anything now, so this could be something to think about in 5 to 6 months, you know? But the content you make now is gonna dictate how many of those guys you attract.
Yeah.
You know? I think the stories about the 9-figure guy you met and like, the scammers and all of that stuff, like you can only go through that stuff if you've been in the game. And the guys who are high level, they can relate. The lower level guys, they can't relate to that. Okay, I think this is all pretty good. Let's now start mapping some stuff out. The way I actually like to do my scripting, right, which is what we're gonna go through a little bit later as well. This is like leveraging AI a little bit more. So what we can do, right, is when you are coming up with ideas, right, we wanna think of what is the fastest way to come up with ideas that match your brand and aren't gonna make you sit there fucking writing for 3 hours. Oh, let me script this hook. Like, bro, you got shit to do, okay? It's 2026. AI is getting good. So how do we use it to do this properly? Let me show you how we do it. Well, this is software that I like called Poppy. It's like 500 quid a month, 500 quid a year, sorry. And what I like about this is that this software allows you to give it tons of context. So when I give it a prompt, when I give it an idea, I can do it all in relation to your brand. And that's why I made you fill out all these sheets, because now I can put all this information in. It fucking knows exactly who you are. Fantastic. And then the AI either knows this idea matches you or it doesn't match you. Yeah. Right? And then all these conversations that we have, the voice recordings, whatever, you can input all of it in. You can input YouTube videos, you can input voice recordings, you can put in PDFs, and it will have everything there. And then it'll just give you the no bullshit version, you know?
Yeah, we do that in Ecom as well.
Oh, yeah, you go,
so
right?
We create all these brand sheets, we plug them in.
Exactly. So I'm also saying it's fucking something right, eh? Yeah. But imagine you got the ability of, because if you can rip it on camera, bro, when you rip it in real life,
I know, 10 times better.
Bro, when you're at a dinner table, you got like 10 investors around you, bro.
And 10 baddies, bro. Fuck the investors.
Yeah, okay, 10 baddies. And you just deliver. Like your tonality is going up and down. You're building suspense. Like,
no, storytelling's so important.
It's a great skill.
It's the key to all of Ecom.
Yeah.
Telling stories.
The ads and hitting insecurity, right?
It's generally one of the reasons I want to jump on YouTube as well, is to get better at
It's a huge
storytelling.
All right, so we got your main brand sheets there. Now this is going to be linked with Claude, because Claude is the best one for writing.
It is indeed.
So Claude 4.5, we're on deep think, we got all the saucy shit. Okay, great. So now when it comes to ideating, right? When it comes to now coming up with content, we have the basis of what we need. Now, what I would want you to do with this is when we start to go through your brand strategy and we start going through shit like this, where we can pull up any moment from your life. So this is where you can now go through this, and whatever it may be, these are all moments. So the way that I think would be easiest for you is when you are on the treadmill or you're just doing something, you're just going on a walk, go through all these moments and then just rip a ChatGPT dictation on your phone and just start building up that log of raw stories. Then when you want to refine things, you can bring it into something like Poppy on your laptop, then fucking 10 minutes, paste everything in and just say what stories match, and if they do match, how do we hook them, how we position it, etc. If you want to go one step further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take basically all of the content that I teach, right? My way of doing it, also put that there. So it will do it in the same style that I'm also like saying how we should do it with the context of you. So you get 2 for 1, right? So for example, this is my modules on like personal branding itself, like the foundations. So I whack that here. which you get in the program. Sorry, you guys didn't get this for free. And I have a whole fucking hour course on speech.
Okay.
Just talking.
I need to buy that shit.
You're in it, bro. You're in it. You're in it, bro. You're in it. All right. So now we got everything here. And then all you can also do, let me get my phone. I can take the voice recording we did. And I get the transcript. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just airdrop it to myself real quick. And then now what I'll do is I'm gonna transcribe all of this. So now we just had a whole long conversation for an hour just before we filmed this, guys, right? Nabil spitting all the fucking sauce, bro. Like all the stories, everything. So we just upload this whole thing. It's gonna just take a sec. It will transcribe it. We whack it in, and then boom, you've got the next fucking 15 videos ready to go.
That's fire.
There you go, nice and easy.
Did you always plan on doing this then, yeah?
What do you mean, sorry?
When you videoed me talking at dinner.
Yeah, right, I was locked
That's
in,
it.
bro. You know, this is foreshadowing, right? You got to think ahead, right? So now we're gonna have this, and then what you can do going forwards, let's say you just buy Poppy, it's not very much. Then all you got to do is you're gonna have your own little Poppy here. You've got the modules, you've got your shit, and then all you got to do is just add a node. Here's all the shit I'm talking about. Boom, this is the style we want to do it.
Cool.
And then from there, you got it there, copy paste it on your phone. And whenever you go out next, maybe you're in your car, next YouTube video, boom. Everything I want to talk about, the style I'm going to do it, and then it's just practicing, just doing the reps, and that's it. And then what we can do, take the footage, we review it on call, we see what could have been better, and that's it. We do this for like 6 months, bro. You're going to be insane by the end of it.
And we can all retire as YouTubers, eh?
Exactly, bro. You just retire with stories, bro. Let me walk you through everything here. And the way that I like to prompt, I love prompting with dictation. So I'll be like, okay, so you've now got all of the brand sheets for Nabil. You know everything about him, you know his story, and you know the style of how we want to do our content. The main 3 types: authority, connection, and growth. What I want you to do is just to define Nabil's edge, his unique mechanism a bit further. The fact that he's made so much money not through info. He's done it through legitimate e-commerce. He found the right things at the right time. And he's just got so much fucking raw experience in the game that most people don't. To make a very concise and brief paragraph on what his edge is going to be in the market of producing content online. And just take this and rip this straight into Poppy. And the thing is, right, look, you guys can steal all of this, but you can't prompt it like that, so it doesn't matter. You should have everything it needs, it can cook, and just be efficient. Anti-course seller, eh? Bullet point, and it's Nabil. Okay. He's actually done it. 3 exits, 200x flip, 10k consulting calls.
10k consulting calls is funny.
Never pivoting when it got hard. That's a good point, right? He never switched, actually.
No,
you didn't try all this
never
shit.
switch her.
That's,
Too loyal.
That's actually quite interesting because everyone I know has tried different shit. Like I tried different stuff before I landed on content, but you just did ecom from day one.
Yeah, and I tried investing in crypto, but all it did was distract me from ecom, so I just stopped doing it. And actually, the other day, I cashed out all my crypto and put it into a new brand.
You're really showing the philosophy of just go all in on one thing and be the best of one thing.
Yeah, and that thing is ecom. That thing is not one store, which is what a lot of people, a mistake a lot of people make.
Okay, so let's walk you through the 3 content types, which we did a little bit before briefly, but we're gonna go a little bit further now. So growth is like, this is all about finding a viral trend and applying it into your niche. This is like just following
like account growth, right?
Yeah, but it, honestly, like I don't even think we're even gonna look at it right now because this is just how you look like a bot. So I always like really caveat it. The main 2 points are connection and authority, right? So connection, we talked about it already a lot. The purpose is to build trust, make people feel like they know you, and also warm your existing audience for when you eventually sell. This is people starting to like you. And the way you do this is, look, everyone in your market, there are other guys who will teach ecom, etc. How can you stand out so people will want to eventually buy from you instead of other people? And the way you do that is through your story, is your personal experiences. Because most people I work with, they're good at what they do, but they're not actually so good to the point where they're like top of their industry, right? So what ends up happening is they will teach a lot of the same things other people do. So the way they actually convert is people actually like them for them, through their story. But in your case, you have another unfair advantage because you're actually better than most ecom guys who are making content, right?
I'd hope so.
So you have the expertise and you have the story, which makes your case even stronger, right?
I just need you.
Yeah, we're doing it, bro. We're doing it. So yeah, as you go through this, right, this is going to remind you of the most important moments in your life, right? And what's important for you is when you look at this list, you need to look at the ones that immediately stir a lot of emotion in you. So when you look at, let's say I'm on like family and friends here, what speaks to you here?
Sacrifice.
Elaborate, go on, talk to me.
So been in ecom since I was 16. Ecom is the most 24/7 business model. It's not a 9 to 5 job where it switches off over the weekend. Literally 24/7 because people are buying from your site any time of the day.
All the time, yeah.
So the amount of sacrifices you have to make because you think I need to be monitoring this right now, I need to be building this right now, or this is broken, sorry, I can't come to dinner, and that kind of stuff.
Let's get more specific. Give me an example. Like, so you've given the macro point. Now tell me a point in your life when it actually happened.
A point in my life where it actually happened.
And you were like, fuck, I'm really gonna miss this because I need to work on business right now.
Well, it's even relationships. I was telling you at dinner.
Okay. Go for
Like
it.
when I was 16, 17 years old, I had a girlfriend. I knew that I had to sacrifice that relationship to really double down on working, because I knew 18 to 30, that's when you have to just work your fucking ass off. And then when you're 30, you can start chilling if you do your 20s right. If you mess up your 20s, then the 30s you've got to work. So I knew no girlfriend, just pure work, 20s, the whole decade, just work.
Where did that sort of, that will and that maturity come from? Because people don't clock that for most of their life.
Don't get me wrong, I was also immature during that time. Like,
I think some people think that, but you actually acted on it. You know, the fact that you broke up with your girl is a big deal.
Yeah, like
Just for work, just because you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
You basically said, bro, I've got to make more money, so we can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
You know?
and whether it was the right reason or the wrong reason, we'll never know.
And then a little bit maybe further down here, this is, okay, now there's actually dating is down here. Break up that fueled ambition. I mean, there you go, it's right in there.
Life story.
It's right in there. Dating while building, if you ever want to go into that, I know you had some.
No, I can talk about that.
Yeah.
And it's a very complex topic.
But like when you're able to break that down, like that's something people can really connect with, you know? Because bro, you don't see people talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really like finding the balance between how much do I want to tell the world versus how much I want to keep private to myself.
Yeah, I don't mind talking about something like that for sure.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely believe you should be single if you want to build, which is very controversial. But
And then even here, like wins and breakthrough moments, right? What about, for example, right, credibility confirmations, right? When someone bigger than you or someone you looked up to has been like, you know what, Nabil, you're fucking did good.
one I told you about, the most successful guy I know in e-commerce, the other day asked me, let's start a brand together.
Yeah, that's huge.
It meant a
right?
lot to me.
Yeah, no, wicked, right? These are also all stories you can talk about. So I think you kind of get the story. We've been talking about that a lot recently, okay? And I would say, especially at the start, focus on stories that you can naturally relate back to ecom, where you teach a lesson through the story. That's really important. Okay. And you can do this in YouTube, right? Like you can rip a YouTube video where you just go through a juicy story in detail. You can, it'll be like maybe 10 minutes long. You spill everything, just driving around, just build the reps, you know? So in your situation, bro, like don't worry about the fancy editing. Don't worry about the fancy filming. Like if you want to do it, you can do it, but it's not going to matter because the actual source is in here.
Yeah.
Everything is in there. They're here to learn. They're going to be here to learn, to be entertained, and to be like, you know what, like this guy really knows his shit. And that means moves you on to authority. So this is all about showing you're an expert. And this is really fucking important, especially if you want to do info, really important. And the key is to teach something that people could not find anywhere else. Here's a little idea framework, right? To come up with some value-based content, right? So for example, step-by-step frameworks you use in ecom, right? Or how you think about ecom v how most other people think for you, you know, the funnels, v the ads, right? Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Any case study lessons, right? From a specific store, talk about the biggest changes you made in the business, in one of your brands that caused a huge change you maybe didn't expect. I'm sure you've got some examples that come to mind.
Yeah. Every guru will tell you Facebook ads, Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that completely changed the game for me was realizing to look way past Facebook ads. And the guy I mentioned before, who's the most successful guy I know in ecom, literally takes the mick out of people in ecom who only run on Facebook. Because he says all the biggest spenders, they don't run on Facebook, they're running on platforms you've never heard of. And it's so true. And that's what opens your mind.
Aside from the ad side of things, what else could you say? Some other parts of the business?
Organic is really important. So the brand I actually bought and sold, it was 100% organic. There was no ads.
Wow. What the
100%
fuck?
organic. And I'm an ads guy.
Here I've been like thinking like organic is just like, oh, you find like a fucking lava lamp, you make some gimmicky shit, and you just try to sell it. Like a lot of pump and dump stores grow through organic, I've seen.
Yeah, they do, but that's about learning the skill from turning a pump and dump store into a long-term brand. And for us, we built the fastest growing print-on-demand brand in the world.
Wow.
To a point where the owners of the print-on-demand technology wanted to fly us out to the country they were based, and they wanted to buy the business and all this kind of stuff. But
Damn.
we said no.
Damn.
But that's all from literally posting 4 TikToks a day. No ads, just pure consistency.
Wow.
Knowing how to film a video. It's a whole art.
So you've also nailed organic on brand side.
Yeah, and that's what's making. So now we're focused on building our brand. That's going to be like our long term.
And that was like a clothing brand.
No, that one was print on demand, as in like wall art.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's really interesting. What mistakes cost people the most time and money in e-com?
Sunken cost fallacy. It's not even just e-com, it's business itself.
In general, right?
In e-com, particularly, testing products and hoping that they'll work.
Yeah.
You have to go into every test completely stoic, no emotion, test a product. If it doesn't work, move on to the next.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to burn money. It's a money pit.
Yeah. And so look, this is like a small framework here where you can just start extracting ideas, right? There may be multiple points for each node, and look, there could be multiple mistakes. What you can do, right, is I'll give this to you and you can go through this Mario board and you can pretty much just take any story here and just click enter and just type what it is.
Okay. So
Right. And then what you can do is go on a walk, have this Mario board, take some screenshots, and then just start ripping on a voice note all of the stories, all of the
do
detail.
it when I'm skiing.
There you go, when
week.
you're skiing, exactly.
Headphones in.
There you go, just talking away. Like, we want to make content easy,
Yeah.
right?
But it's hard. It's
It
fucking
is hard. Once you've now got all the ideas, you've started to figure out the hooks. We can talk about how you want to do the hooks. Then you set aside a bit of time, half an hour. Cool, I've got everything I want to talk about. Boom, let me film.
Yeah.
Then give it to the editor, edit does some basic shit, boom, you start getting content out. Simple as that, right? And it's all up to you. If you want to post 1 reel a week, you post 1 reel a week. If you want to post 10 reels a week, it doesn't really fucking matter, bro. All I would say is every single piece of content you make, just ask yourself, does this really hit?
Yeah.
Like, is this shit? If this is shit, I'm not going to post it.
I say the same thing to my ad team.
There you go. All right, and then with the value content, this is where you want to especially lead with proof. Leading with the fact you've had exits, leading with the fact that you learn XYZ through this brand or whatever it may be. This is just all about giving the audience who don't know you a reason to listen to you, and then boom, hit the value. All right.
Sure.
Simple as that. Through all of that, actionable items right now. Okay, so the first kind of video I say, which I don't think is going to be the case for you, because this is more so for people who've already been making a bit of content and now they want to make a good piece. The first video I get most people to do is a My Story video. This is like quite an in-depth video about basically everything that you've done to get to where you are right now.
And how long would that video usually be?
1 to 2 minutes. Like, it's a reel.
Oh, so
It's a reel. It's not a long form. It's not a long form.
Okay.
You can do a long form, and I think in your case, because you've done so much, you should actually make a long form for it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I prefer long form as well. You know?
Yeah, fine. If you want to focus more on long form, you can. The only reason I'm pushing reels and doing TikToks and stuff is because it just compresses the amount of time it takes, right? Because the long form is naturally, so it's a bigger video, right? And then you got to think about the title, the thumbnail, right? Because when it comes to long form, it's not just the video. When it's short form, it's just the hook and what I say. That's it. So I would say, get some reps with the reels, and then we can discuss what kind of long form videos you want to make. I'll plan them out a little bit, and then you go execute them and take it from there. But reels just give you reps, and it's the fastest way to just get good at it. And then that will translate into long form. So in terms of like what I would say right now is the best to do, I would say start building that idea bank. We get you a DJI Osmo, start ripping those clips, okay? And then get your editor placed. The editor will start doing some stuff. You just, talk to the editor, be like, okay, I like it like this, I don't like it this. Like, just filter what you like and what you don't like. And then from there, if you want to start posting them, you can start posting them. Just see how they do.
Sick.
And then with the YouTube, start, identifying the right style and what you want to talk about, etc. And the whole idea of this is right now, it's very hands-on. Like, I'm really steering you. But over time, you'll start realizing what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work. And then the path becomes clearer the harder you work at it. We've done a big deep dive today, Nabil. How have you found everything?
No, it's incredible. And what I like is there's so much parallels with the highest levels of ecom. Like, if you want to build a brand, you literally do all of this stuff, and it's high level shit. Like, it's not what the small guys doing. The guys that are popping the $1 million months, they're doing this stuff.
Yeah, wicked. And how have you found, I know you've been wanting to start content for a while. What made you want to work with me, and how have you found working with me so far?
Everyone else just seems to be like a videographer.
Yeah.
Whereas you understand that it's so much deeper than that. And it's like, coming back to ecom, it's like, why would I hire an editor when I can hire a creative strategist who can edit, but they also understand the psychology of the buyers, and they understand how to make good ads rather than just how to edit good ads. And you're the only person I've met in the YouTube space that understands, like, you even said to me that the editing is not important. Like, it doesn't matter. But most videographers you chat to, like, oh yeah, I'm the best at doing this, doing that. Like, I don't care. Tell me how to go from 0 to 100. We'll follow your lead. Let's do it. As opposed to all the gimmicky tips.
Just get to the crux. All right, well, I think we'll leave it there, bro. Thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Thank you very
Got a
much
good
for
little
having me.
breakdown there. And now let's get this first YouTube video in the works. And hopefully you guys are going to start seeing some of the best e-commerce content out on the internet so far. So
Hopefully.
let's kill it. Let's kill it. See you guys in the next video.